Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my top 5 things you need to know about Red Dead Redemption 2. This is after over 100 hours of gameplay, and I really don't like doing these tutorials early in the game because there's so much to learn about this, and more often than not, the top 5 series videos don't offer the best information. But today, I am going to be offering you 5 amazing tips, and without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into them. The first thing we're going to discuss is Deadeye Usage. Many people have been asking during my live streams and in videos why I use Deadeye the way I do. Now, your first instinct when you go into Deadeye is probably to kill as many things on your screen as humanly possible, so you look like a gangster and you kill a lot of people with one stone. Now, in many instances, that is perfectly acceptable, but when you actually cycle in and out of Deadeye, there's 2 huge advantages. You don't use as much Deadeye, and for these prolonged fights that you're going to get in later in the game, it's going to be imperative to save Deadeye. Now, not only does it save your core, but it also automatically reloads your weapon, which is a huge advantage in massive battles. So using this method will allow you to save a lot of Deadeye and basically make you never have to reload during large-scale battles. And now for number 2, Dynamite Arrows. Got somebody that pisses you off? Blow them up. Stagecoach blocking your favorite road? Blow them up. Witnesses catch you trying to save some horses? You guessed it. That's right. We're gonna blow them up. Dynamite arrows are incredibly efficient and far better, in my opinion, than standard dynamite. You can use it for so many different things, and the only thing I use standard dynamite for now is to break open safes, but you could do it with a dynamite arrow too if you want. You might explode, but it'll be fun. Now, it does cost 1 flight feather, 1 dynamite, and 1 arrow to make this. Need flight feathers? Guess what? Use dynamite arrows to farm more dynamite arrows. Once you complete the 2 quests in Chapter 2 with Hosea, you will unlock the fence. This is where you're going to need to go to both buy dynamite and the pamphlet for the dynamite arrows. As you can see, the dynamite costs $1 each, and if you go all the way to the right, you're going to see there's a bunch of pamphlets here. Now, I highly recommend buying pretty much all of these pamphlets as they're going to come in handy. Now, at the bottom, you're going to find the dynamite arrow pamphlet, and there's a bunch of other awesome things in here that I highly recommend getting as soon as you can. Now, if you really need to farm up money, feel free to check out my money farming guide, but all in all, dynamite arrows are amazing, and I highly recommend using them to your heart's content. Now for number 3, get yourself a white Arabian. This is by far the best horse that you can get for a very large portion of the game, and you're really going to want to make sure to have this because it makes a lot of the quests easier by not having your horse die left and right. You can get the white Arabian the second you get into Chapter 2, and all you need to do is go up to Lake Isabel in the northwest corner to this exact spot. Once here, you're going to keep an eye out for a beautiful white horse. Now, she is going to match with the area around her, so just keep an eye out, but it is always going to be here for every single person, and there can only be one on the map. So once you actually get this thing tamed, if it does happen to die, all you need to do is restart your console, and then go ahead and relog into the game, wait a few days, head back up to this same spot, and you can get the horse right away again. To easily break this horse, all you need to do is just hold back on the left analog stick, balance yourself with the right, and then constantly tap the square button every time you're alerted to calm the horse. When you first get this beauty, he or she is going to come with natural 6 speed and acceleration, and 5 health and stamina. Now, this is a very, very good horse, and as long as you bond with it, it's going to be very hard to kill. Now, a good way to bond with your horse quickly is when galloping. Every 5 seconds, go ahead and press in on the left analog stick, and you will comfort your horse. Now, when you do this, you will gain bonding with the horse, and you can do this the entire time that you're running. I can't currently show you right now because I am fully bonded with this horse, but if you do it every 5 seconds, you'll also regen stamina and get bonding, which is amazing. Now for something a little more complicated, crime and bounties. This is a rather complicated system, and I do have a video that showcases everything you need to know about crime and bounty in Red Dead Redemption 2, and I highly recommend checking it out. But to put it into a summary for you, nobody will recognize you if you have a mask on, providing you don't have a bounty or have not committed a major crime in the area just before committing this crime. Now, that being said, if you have committed a major crime like murder and you received a bounty for that crime, citizens in that area will remember what you look like. So number 4 is making sure to change clothing after committing major crimes. Now, before I go a little bit more into detail into that, so long as you don't get a bounty, it doesn't matter how much you've murdered people, as long as the cops don't see you or you're not reported as Arthur Morgan and receive a bounty, then you can go back into that town wearing the same clothes and they won't recognize you. Now, that is pretty awesome, and you can take advantage of this. We are actually going back in, even with different clothing right now, but we don't have to, and we're going to rob the gun shop in the same area. They don't recognize us, and we'll still be able to escape without getting a bounty. Now, this is all depending on the fact that you're using a mask. Now, things are going to get a little bit more complicated. If you are seen by any cop, even with a mask on, they will instantly recognize you as Arthur Morgan, and you will get a bounty. Currently, we are unknown because the civilians didn't recognize us, but this cop will get line of sight on us, and once he does, we are instantly going to be identified as Arthur Morgan, and we're gonna get a bounty. Now, we've just committed a major crime. We just killed a cop, and we're gonna kill a lot more on our way out of here, and this is where things start getting complicated. When you commit a major crime in an area like this, which the main story has you do quite often, the citizens now have a known description of you. If you return to this area even after paying off the bounty, the civilians will remember what you look like at the time of committing that bounty. If you go back to that area wearing the same clothes and commit another crime even wearing a mask, the civilians will remember what you look like, and they will report you no matter what as Arthur Morgan, and you will get a bounty. Now, the way to resolve this is to have multiple changes of clothes stored on your horse, and if you go back to an area that you committed a major crime in recently, change your clothes before going in, and that way civilians will not be able to recognize you if you commit another crime, so long as you have a mask on. Now for number 5, everyone's most feared thing in this entire game, those freaking trees. If you find yourself getting precariously close to these frightening creatures, just let go of the left analog stick and your horse will dodge them with ease, and then you can regain control afterwards, and it comes in really handy during pursuits and running through forests. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't hold true for roads, and your horse will plow through other people like it's its job. This will cause you to get bounties or just have to murder people for fun, so just take advantage of this situation to put people in their place. The roads are yours, and they're gonna learn. Now, as one extra bonus, there's going to be something you want to get very early in the game, and that is a trinket from the fence. Once you unlock the fence in Chapter 2, there's something you're going to want to craft. Once we open this up, you're going to see all of these trinkets. One of the most important early game trinkets is the buck antler trinket. Player receives higher quality skinned animal parts. This will make your life significantly easier for the later parts of the game, and to get that particular thing, you need to go up and hunt the buck. Now, if you go from Emerald Ranch all the way over to the west, you're going to find the legendary buck right about here. If you put it just south of the B in Big Valley and drop a marker there and head there in early morning or evening, you're gonna be able to find the legendary buck. Just follow the tracks, shoot it, and come craft your trinket, and your life is gonna be made a lot easier for the rest of the game. Also, as another bonus, mules are rideable, and they're pretty much the best mounts in the game. Highly recommend stealing one and keeping it forever. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If there's other things that you have found out in this game that you feel is very informative, feel free to let people know in the comments below. Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find this useful and you feel like doing me a kindness, feel free to show your support and hit that like button, as it really helps me out. But thank you all, and I will see you all in the next one.